Hello everyone, welcome, and I'm Keshin. Let's recap what we were talking about last video. We learned to find a position that is comfortable for us, and everyone is different. We learned to use scan to relax the muscles. We learn to direct our mind and sustain our mind onto sound as an anchor to be in the present. We train our mind to accept everything that's arise, be it feeling, uncomfortableness, thoughts. We observe them and not be overwhelmed by them. We learn to distance ourselves from unwholesome, negative mindset and cultivate wholesome mindset. We learn to stay in the silence, rest in peace, and in that time out for ourselves, we find some joy, and this joy can rise up like an energy movement. It rises up from our spine, up to our head, and up to our crown, and it gives a tingle like an insect crawling. And then there is a showering sensation of coolness, so our body shivers like goosebumps. And this is called rapture. It's a mark of first jhana. So what is jhana and what is its purpose? We can think jhana is a wholesome food for our heart and mind. When we were little, we loved eating junk foods. We loved lollies and chocolates and chips and sugar drinks, because that's what our senses like. But we didn't know it is unhealthy for us. Then we go to school, and our parents taught us and school taught us, and we know about nutrition. We know about our body, and then we geared towards a more healthy, balanced diet with wholesome food like vegetables and fruits. So the mind is the same. We've been conditioned, we've been programmed, we've been bombarded by media and in our culture to like pleasure of the senses. So we are used to define happiness as something out there, external to us, be it objects or a person. And like our happiness are so dependent on the external to the point of almost like an addiction. And it is addictions to some people, whether it be food, substance, or relationships. And like any craving, the more we have, the more we want. Because with addiction, we raise our normal baseline happiness to a higher level, so that we need more and more to maintain normalcy. And as we meditate and we learn, we gear towards acceptance, and we direct our mind to a more wholesome food for the heart, for the mind. Jhana is wholesome because the pleasure and the happiness we find is not dependent on external. And it's only arises when the negative mindset has been abandoned. This energy movement that gives us rapture, we can think like the first rain. Rain that permeates and soaks to the ground. It runs down to the creek and it clears all the channel. And that is what this energy is. It rises and it's showered in waves and waves. And it's soaked throughout our whole body. Every cell is immersed and absorbed in this ecstatic feeling. And we drink in it. We jump into it. We sink into it. We lost ourselves into it. We're totally absorbed and be one with it. It's like when we are so thirsty on a hot day after a hard work, and we open the fridge and there's this cool glass of water, and we drink and we drink and we drink. So first jhana is like that. When we are absorbed or be one with this feeling. We are developing the tranquility quality of our mind, because bliss, joy, and happiness would lead the mind to contentment and stillness. But there's another quality that we developed hand in hand, is the vipassana or insight quality of our mind. Because as we so got used to this state, we start to have a look, we start to observe. The mind investigate. And what do we investigate? We ask ourselves, what has been abandoned? What has stopped? And what arises? So what abandoned are the 5 hindrances, such as ill will, drowsiness, restlessness, doubt, and sensual desires. So those perception of defilements of the mind, we leave it aside for a while. And what arises when something stops is a cause for something else to arise. And when we abandon this negativity, our duties for the world, our need to please people, our need to be somebody, when we leave all those aside, let them go for the time being, rapture and joy arise. And when rapture and joy arise, our mind is a little bit more centered, a little bit more still. And what qualities is carried before and after first jhana? The 2 mindfulness quality, direct awareness and sustained awareness. Before we direct our mind and sustain our mind onto sound or onto the breath or onto chanting or any meditation objects. And when jhana arises, when this rapture and joy arise, we let them go, and now the mind is directed to the feeling, and sustained attention on this feeling. And this jhana can last for months, or for some people for years. It can arise anytime when we sit and relax, whether it's just having a cup of tea or sitting on the beach. We would feel the movement, the energy movement, and we would feel the rapture. But to some people, they could stay for many years on this excess jhana state, but the jhana couldn't arise. So we have to ask why. We have to have a look at what we are doing outside of meditation. Are we mindful? Are we being here in the present? Are we kind to ourselves? Are we kind to the people around us? Are we kind when we're driving? Are we kind when we're working? So mindfulness and intention are important. Keeping the precept and morality is important. Having faith of our teacher, our teaching is important. All of that give us peace and joy. Another technique is imagining, using visual. So we imagine there's a white, blue current of energy rises up our spine, up our neck, rises to our crown, and circle. So the energy rises and circle. And rise. To our crown and circle. So in this video we cover what is jhana, what is the first jhana, what insight do we gain from this first jhana, and how to initiate it. We'll have a look at second jhana next time. Thank you for tuning in. May you be well. May you be happy.